Hey everyone, Switched On here. In this video, I'm going to talk about something that most recently has happened, and I'm pretty sure everyone is aware about it. Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine. When I first heard about this news, I was like, there is no way. There is no way this is for real. But it turned out to be real. I was like, Russia sent armed forces to Ukraine? For what? And even though a week before all this even took place, I was reading news that Russia and Ukraine had discussions to try to solve this problem even before this even had escalated. And even this was like, I was like, hope, I was really hopefully had hopes that Russia and Ukraine could solve this problem even had been could escalate something further. But there is still non reasonable doubt saying what Russia did is illegal. But there's another main question to be asked here. Why are they invading Ukraine? I don't even know myself. I had to try to keep myself mostly updated about this resource, this current development in Ukraine. I mean, if we had to go back in more, um, this is might some people don't probably know, but if I had to go back to some historical records, just for a brief part, that Ukraine used to be part of the former Soviet Union, unlike many other Eastern Europe countries. But, but, here's the thing. The last known update I heard, which I read about this during invasion, that Vladimir Putin, the president of Russia Federation, well, which is the name of Russia, that he claims that he can remove Ukraine's independent status. And I just say from this, there is no way, there is no way he can do that. And I'm very surprised about all this invasion even took place in the first place. I was like, why? Why? And it's like there is nothing that I can stand on. But but during this invasion of Ukraine, he already knew what he was going to expecting from the rest of the world. I knew this because the whole world reacted shocked, terrified what Russia, the mighty Russia, did against a small country in Europe by invading it. It's almost like the full scale war is erupting. I'm shocked even to this day. I cannot even still even comprehend. Why? Why? It's the main question in my mind that is going on. But there's no way that I can even get to comprehend what's basic understanding what's happening. I mean, all this scales goes back at least about almost a decade. I don't know if many people know about this, but back in 2014, Russia they occupied one Crimea Peninsula, or a small part of island, or a part of landmass that actually is belonged to Ukraine, but they occupied it, which were against the law by international law, and they still had even left the area. And later, two parts of Ukraine claimed, or at least claimed to be part as independent nation. And only like March 20, and even April 20, February 22nd, when Russia's President Vladimir recognized those two parts to be as independent nation. I'm very much devastated to hold this knowing. And another one of the reasons why this might happen, why this Russia were doing this, Because back in several years back, though, Ukraine had applied for maybe to be part of member of this military alliance, NATO, which is basically in Europe. But they were Russians responded back if they doing that, they were feeling threatened by if they join this new military force alliance. That is up to Ukraine to decide if they want to be that. But also, even knowing how this war has been going on for even less than a month, I'm so shocked all about this. Even after all this. According to this one of the United Nations um, uh, estimation, at least 1.7 million people had left Ukraine during this full-scale invasion. But that is not all. They are estimated to at least 4 million would have escaped Ukraine. And this is unreal. If I may have to go back in time as well to mention one thing, because back in 1939, we all know what happened then when Germany invaded Poland. This is almost like the same thing. Russia invades Ukraine. I mean, what is going on here in this world? I don't know what to say. I'm terrified about this moment. But I can see this from one thing. I really hope this invasion is over and that Russia, well, I don't know. I mean, I even read there is in fact Russians who is even very much against Vladimir's invasion of Ukraine. But their numbers is low. There, in fact, this group of people, Russians, that is much against this idea, is a majority. They're a minority group that's against Vladimir's invasion. But the majority of Russians are probably is probably for it. I cannot comprehend that this full-scale invasion of a small country. But according to one of my coworkers, who told me that, at least what he said, that Russia's economics is bad right now. So I don't think this is the main reason because they want to invade Ukraine to get something, but I don't know. But I will say this. I'm not I'm not saying this is something that we shouldn't expect to happen. No. There's only a few things we can say for right now. At least that is we hope that this full-scale invasion is over. I cannot say it much more than that. I mean, knowing how people have been suffering right now is unbelievable. But I say this, people, we should not allow this to happen again. But sometimes people are ignorant and won't listen. But anyways, that's all I want to say in this video about this currently, about my thoughts. And even though I'm live far from this happening, and I'm scared, I'm terrified. Even though there is a slightly chance, like a small chance that this invasion would have been put direction to Sweden, which, even though it's a big, big, big risk, this is not going to happen at all. Since Sweden is a neutral land, but if that was somehow being focused on. And before I end the video, there is one thing I would like to even to add in. A few days ago, a Russian plane actually entered Sweden's airspace unannounced, even though it was not over the mainland, but it was near the most in the Baltic Sea, in the Swedish airspace, and that is not acceptable at all. And that has happened even many years before all this. But what are we going to do? All we can do right now is hope and pray for the people in Ukraine that this invasion is over their homeland so they can return home. And Russians will not even dare to even do anything. Anyways, everyone, let's hope and pray for the people of Ukraine so that this invasion is finally soon over and what happened will be paid for. Thank you. And this is Switch Diablo over and out.